Now with Claude, I look at it as a gateway to how a human gets their work done.
It is incredible how Claude, even just in the last 3 or 4 months, seems to have grabbed the hearts and minds of essentially every engineer. How did that happen, and where do you see Claude going with engineering?
It's not just going to be engineering. It's going to happen in most cases of knowledge work. Claude, the way I look at it, I would give 2 analogs. One, for humans, it's really a companion and an AI teammate, which not only is making me efficient, but is allowing me to do things that I wasn't able to do before. The second thing, I think Claude is the new browser for the internet. And what I mean by that is when Netscape happened as the first browser, it organized the internet. It became the gateway or the access point to all websites and all information. Now the world is moving from me using compute apps, websites, SaaS apps, to getting work done. So Claude, I think, is becoming the gateway for work, where whenever it comes, we saw this with the iPhone 2, with the App Store, some applications for work will be handled by Claude. Now with Claude, I look at it as a gateway to how a human gets their work done. And the interesting thing will be whenever any platform technology comes, for it to become big, it has to do certain things itself, but then has to build an ecosystem around it for others to flourish. And that's what is going to happen here. And let's see if it starts building capabilities of runtime and the operating system, which is where the difference between Claude and OpenClaw in my mind is. OpenClaw is more the Linux for agents. It's the runtime component. And in 15 years, what took Linux? It took 29 days for developer adoption to happen for OpenClaw. So both these could coexist. One could be the operating system, one could be the browser, where things become headless, and the question becomes, in this fast-moving thing, what does the platform own? We saw that with Windows, we saw that with the browser, we saw that with iOS and Android, and where does value get created? But if you look at the App Store or the browser, it went free, and it essentially, value got created with search, value got created with e-commerce, the whole SaaS ecosystem get built. So I'm very bullish on essentially where the future lies.
We're seeing Anthropic doing almost daily releases, sometimes of huge products or features. We saw them early on partner with big companies, like a company like a Figma, but now we see them actually replacing a lot of these things. So when you talk about them as the browser of the central place of everything, do you see them more like an Android that will sort of be open to playing with a lot of people? Do you see them more like an Apple that's more closed, where they're doing a lot of these things themselves? And does it matter? Is it so big that there's an abundance of opportunities that whether they're open or closed, you can find other areas to be successful?
So I think this market is still developing, but having played in 3 decades, now I sound old, which is okay, having participated in 3 waves from the internet to mobile, cloud, and now the AI era, I think we need to be patient. It's a chess game. So first and foremost, I think some things are going to be very, very hard to win on. The first one is the UI. Before the browser happened, every desktop app had its own UI and UX. With the browser, it essentially became similar. And the advent of SaaS from desktop or client-server apps essentially went. So the idea you can own a UI is going to become extremely, extremely hard. So what should you be doing? You need to essentially own boring, multi-step workflows, which are not single mode, are multi-mode. Second, you need to have a data moat, which creates context and knowledge graph for what you're trying to do. You need to move your business model from charging for subscription per seat to more outcome-based, and own distribution. Let's draw parallels to what happened with the browser era, to what happened with other technologies, with operating systems, and see how it plays. So we need to keep an open mind, learn from the past, make old mistakes, but be open to making new mistakes. It's going to be continuous A/B testing. And now products, as you said, don't take 6 months, they don't take 3 months. They used to happen in a month, then week, now it's daily. So you need to be nimble and figure out how the world is moving, have a North Star, and adjust accordingly.